Hey guys, in this video, I want to go over the various screenshots showing Jay sharing his location just before he disappeared, and share some thoughts around them. I'll be uploading these screenshots in a community post shortly, so you can take a closer look for yourselves. In my earlier video about Jay's phone, I pointed out that Jay's identifier lacked a profile image, and I also mentioned the widely held belief that Jay had two phones with him in Tenerife, which could play a big role in all of this. But we'll come back to that later. The screenshots that matter. From what we know, there are a few key screenshots that are the only known proof of Jay's phone, showing his or his phone's precise location in Moscow. Let's break them down. 1. Snap Maps, Snapchat location. This location was reportedly shared with Brad. It wasn't precise. Snap Maps showed a very broad area covering nearly the entire island. The person who received it, likely Brad, was in Playa de las Americas, or Los Cristianos at the time. Important note, with Snapchat, a user doesn't have to explicitly share their location each time. If someone has Snap Maps enabled, their friends can see their location at any time just by clicking on their profile. 2. WhatsApp, Find My Location, Lucy's screenshots. Two different screenshots of Jay's location were shared by Lucy on Facebook. The first one was from just before 9 a.m. on Monday morning, the day Jay disappeared. The second one was from around 1:40 a.m. on Tuesday morning, which matches the timeline of Ayub's story, where he claims they were searching for Jay in the early hours. But here's the question. Was that really the purpose of releasing the second screenshot? Because realistically, how could they have been searching for him at 1:40 a.m. in pitch-black darkness? It raises the question, was this screenshot shared to reinforce Ayub's timeline rather than to actually help in the search? There's a lot to unpack here, and we'll dive deeper into these details throughout the video. Let's break this down further, starting with the most relevant point. I'm fairly certain this location data came from WhatsApp's live location sharing feature, rather than Jay sending a simple screenshot. Now, this is where things don't quite add up with Lucy's account. She said Jay sent her a screenshot, but if that were the case, we wouldn't see the sender's name on the actual map. That only happens when someone actively shares their live location. Another oddity? The location tag just says Jay Slater without a profile picture. If this were his main WhatsApp or iCloud account, you'd expect to see a profile photo, especially for someone like Jay, who spends a lot of time on these apps. It's pretty unusual for a young person not to have a display picture on their primary account. Why does this matter? There are a few possibilities. If this wasn't Jay's main WhatsApp or iCloud account, could it have been a more discreet one, maybe for work? Or, more concerningly, could someone have set up a separate account and renamed it to make it look like Jay's location? And what about the two-phone theory? If this was a work phone, could it have been monitored by third parties? If someone else set up the phone, they could have enabled tracking, keeping tabs on its movements. One final thing to consider. I've speculated before that Jay's phone could have been wiped remotely. But it's important to note that in newer versions of iOS, an iPhone can still be tracked even after a remote wipe, as long as it has power and a network signal. This raises even more questions about who had access to that phone, and what could they have been tracking it. Alright, moving on. There are several inconsistencies with this screenshot. I believe it was Little Miss Vodka on TikTok who first pointed it out in a video, showing clear signs that this was a screenshot of a screenshot. The biggest giveaway? Two microphone indicators. These are the little orange dots that appear on an iPhone when the mic is in use, usually during a call. Another key detail, the green circle around the time. This indicates that an active call was in progress when the screenshot was taken. Add that to the high battery percentage, the charging indicator, and the fact that the phone was connected to Wi-Fi, and it strongly suggests that this wasn't taken on Jay's own phone. I mean, come on, charging and Wi-Fi in the Moscow Mountains? Not exactly likely. So what can we take from all this? Well, those two orange mic dots, which appear in different spots due to a recent iPhone update, confirm that this isn't just a direct screenshot. It's a screenshot of the location Jay shared. It's totally reasonable to mix up the details on whether Jay or Lucy made the original screenshot. But what really matters is this. Jay was on a call with someone he actively shared his location with. Now, that person takes a screenshot of Jay's location while still on the call. Then, they're on another call with a second person, who takes a screenshot of the first screenshot that was just shared with them. If they had simply saved and uploaded the original screenshot, none of this would be obvious. But because they took a fresh screenshot and uploaded that, the layering effect gives it away. So, logically speaking, if Lucy is the second part of this chain, the one capturing a screenshot of a screenshot, then that suggests Jay didn't share his location with her directly. Instead, he shared it with someone else first. Could that someone be Brad? Possible, but not likely. Brad already had Jay's location via Snapchat, as we can see from his own screenshot. So that raises the question, who else was Jay in contact with after leaving the Airbnb? From what I know, it was only Lucy and Brad. I would also like to touch on, and why I don't feel the location was shared with Lucy herself, is that the person who it was shared with could at any point on their phone go back to it and interact with it like a normal pin on a map. So if Lucy had the original location data, she wouldn't have needed to upload it to Facebook and ask if anyone recognized the spot. With a zoomed-in screenshot, sure, she'd need help identifying it. But if she had the actual location on her phone, she could have simply zoomed out to see exactly where it was, or even tapped it for instant directions. So was her Facebook post just a way to publicly show she was looking for Jay? A way to document her concern? Another key point. If the location came from Find My Friends, and Jay had location sharing enabled, like Snap Maps, he wouldn't have needed to manually send it. Anyone with access could have simply opened the app and pulled it up themselves. One last thing. Some people assume Jay's location stopped updating because his phone battery died. But actually, it's also possible due to a loss of network signal. If you check the cell coverage maps near Moscow, you'll see that service barely extends beyond the road itself. I'll be dropping a new video soon diving into the tech behind phone location tracking, how GPS, cell tower triangulation, and signal loss actually work. So stay tuned for that. As always, thanks for watching, and feel free to share your thoughts in the comments below.